one is electrolysis. Before explaining, first I will read the paragraph and then I will explain with the help of the figure. Electrolysis procedure: take a solution of 1 gram copper sulfate in 50 ml water in a 100 ml capacity beaker. Use a thick plate of copper as anode and a carbon rod as cathode. Arrange the apparatus shown in the figure and pass electric current through the circuit for some time. Do you see any change? In the above activity, copper appears to have deposited on the portion of the cathode immersed in the solution. How did this happen? When an electric current started flowing through the circuit, the cations, that is Cu plus ions in the solution, got attracted towards the cathode. Cu atoms are formed when electrons coming out from the cathode combining with the Cu plus ions. A deposit of copper appears on the cathode. Even though the Cu plus ions in the solution were used up in this manner, the color of the solution remained the same, because while electric current was on, electrons were removed from the Cu atoms of the anode and sent to the battery through the electric wire. The Cu plus ions formed in this manner entered the solution. In this way, decomposition of the solute in the solution took place due to the electric current. This is called as electrolysis. Now I will explain this with the help of this figure. In this figure, a beaker, this is a beaker. In this beaker, a copper sulfate solution is prepared in water. Copper sulfate solution is prepared in the water with the help of water. That is 50 ml solution is prepared and kept into the 100 ml capacity of the beaker. In this solution, two electrodes means the two terminals of the battery. Two electrodes we are using to detect the electrolysis of copper sulfate solution. So here the two electrodes are: copper rod is the positive terminal, that is called as cathode, and the carbon rod, which is the anode, that is the negative terminal of the battery. These two rods are wound with the wire, and then the wires are attached to the circuit diagram. That is the circuit. Here this arrow is nothing but the key, that is the switch to open, to pass the current and to stop the current. This is the ammeter, which shows that current is flowing. Means the current reading we are getting from the ammeter. When we are performing actually experiment, that time I will explain all these in detail. Current electricity experiment, that time I will give you the idea about the ammeter and all these instruments. So here, and this side is for battery. The smaller one, these two parallel lines are shown here. One of the parallel line that is smaller than the other one. The smaller one is the negative and the larger one is the positive. So this is the positive terminal which is joined to this plus, and this is negative terminal which is joined to the negative, that is cathode and anode. After setting the apparatus, then pass the electric current from the solution. When electric current is passing through from copper sulfate solution, we prepare copper sulfate solution in water. So when the solutions are prepared in water, water dissociates. Means dissociation already takes place. Ions are already existing in the solution. So which two ions are there? Cu plus, that is the positive ion, and SO4, that is the negative ions. So they are already existing in the solution. So when electric current is passed, these ions get attracted. They are transferred from positive to the negative, accepting electrons and donating electrons. In this way, the positive ions convert, after losing two electrons, convert into atom. That is in the original solid form. Means here Cu2 plus ions which are present in the solution, when we pass the electric current, these are moving towards the negative terminal of the battery to lose the two electrons. And these two electrons are accepted by the negative ions, that is the cations and the anions. And after losing and after accepting the electrons, the copper ions get converted into atom form, that is solid form. So the copper, that is the Cu plus 2 ions, they are attracted to the negative terminal of the battery. So negative terminal is what? Anode. So when electric current is passed and when electrolysis is completed, at the end we find that all the copper, red color copper, solid copper is deposited on the carbon rod. In fact, the carbon black color rod seems to be red in color after depositing the copper on the carbon rod. Carbon rod is black in color. Okay, so in this way electrolysis takes place. But after the electrolysis, the solution remains blue only, because when the ions are transferred, the existing ions are present in the solution only. So that is why the solution is not faded up till the experiment is not over. So in this way electrolysis of the conducting materials takes place, and from the ionic compounds the ions are separated, and after separating ion, the material that is in the solid form, the solid one is deposited at the respective terminal of the battery, and if the gases are evolved out, they are evolved out at the respective terminals of the battery after the electrolysis is present. Process is completed. In the same way, water electrolysis is also given in the textbook. So same process, water electrolysis are there. Here in case of copper solution, only water we are using. In the water, you know that tap water is not pure, because purification some chemicals are already mixed. So it seems to be pure, but it is not pure. So the electric current can be easily moving from the water. So in the same way electrolysis is present in case of water. Here the two copper rod and carbon rod we are using. There we are immersing two inverted gas jars in the solution, that is in the water, and then electric current is passed. So when electric current is passed in water only water, a pinch of salt is we are adding, so that the dissociation takes place. And when electric current is passed, the water is converted. Water formula is H2O. So here H plus ion and OH minus ions are already existing in the water, and they are transferring from the respective terminals of the battery. So H plus ion get converted into hydrogen gas after losing electron, and after accepting electron, oxygen converted. Oxygen, that is the ionic form of the OH minus ions, convert oxygen form, that is gaseous form, and in the two gas jar, when electrolysis process is completed in case of water, oxygen and hydrogen gas is filled in the gas jar. So in this way we can detect that electric current is easily passed through from the tap water also. Means our water which we are using, it is a good conductor of electricity from this experiment. So oxygen and hydrogen gas is given out when electrolysis of water takes place. So how can we detect? With the help of the burning candle. So at the mouth of two gas jar, if we are putting a burning candle, in one gas jar the candle extinguish, but the explosion takes place, that is the detection of hydrogen gas, and in one jar the burning candle remains as it is, burned with a very bright flame. So this shows that oxygen is evolved out during electrolysis of water, and hydrogen gas is also given out during electrolysis of water. This is the last point of this lesson. Here the lesson is completed. In the next period I will give you only mathematical numericals. Other question answers you are writing yourself.